The passive observer is free from constraints. Hello. Greetings, I am Husa Mori. Greetings from the Forge of Fate. Now I will tell you about the date, July 27, 2023. Day 26 consists of the numbers 2, 6, and the sum 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. The three numbers are divisible by 2. Characteristic features of the number 2, symbol, moon representation of the woman, the feminine principle in our world. Many parameters are opposite and thus go in pairs. The overflow of opposites gives changeability, indeterminacy, and hesitation. From another point of view, we can talk about a periodic attractor. There are two centers around which we revolve. Our mood, for example, changes between good and bad, day and night. And these points change. Some describe it as a pendulum. So if you have decided that you have figured out the woman, you will be surprised that she is different the next moment. 2 is the number of the moon. It determines the ebb and flow of our success. It gives us a sense of duty. This number requires patience. Let us beware of falsehood and confusion. He has intuition, tact, and restraint at the same time. Has a creative nature. If 2 are considered mothers, the qualities of an ideal mother are shown. Loving, intuitive, understanding, supportive, forgiving, and protective characteristic is the passive attitude, submissiveness, and putting yourself in the other person's place. This is how diplomatic qualities are developed. The mother woman is the basis of a new life, and she supports this life until she is ready for independent activity. The number 7 on this date is repeated 3 times. The second number of the date is 7. The month is denoted by 7, and the sum of the digits of the year gives 7. 7 is fundamental in this day and age. The number 7 in the day brings wisdom gained through observation. Discovering the connections and laws of nature leads to skill and improvement. Studying each detail and observing how it connects with others leads to an understanding of fundamental laws. This is how the possibility of the most successful action in a given situation arises. To others, such success looks like luck. Divine support and miracles are the product of careful consideration and action. The number 7 is associated with the divine principle. The help of angels brings luck. Thus, spiritual growth is related to revealing the laws of nature. The spiritual man becomes a scientist who admires the Father Creator and studies the creation. 7 is the connection of the material with the spiritual. One finds one's place in the whole circle. The accumulation of wealth and prestige becomes meaningless. The real wealth is knowledge and people. 7. Perfection. From his square in the basic triad above it, 3 and 4, man studies the completion and refinement of the great cosmic number 7 and notes its repetition in the 7 days of the week, the 7 colors, the 7 tones of the scale, and the 7 planets. He takes his first initiation and retires from the world of action. He discovered that the week is not the closing number in man's cycle and that his material duties are not yet finished. We see the number 9, the end of the cycle and success. In this case, the passive observer has drawn his conclusions. Forms a conclusion. The completed cycle may allow a new cycle to begin. The watcher must become a teacher of others. Ignore all racial and caste prejudices. Realize that each person is a whole universe. Put everyone else before yourself. Give up personal ambitions, even your property, if the good of others requires it. Attract everything, but keep nothing to yourself. Do not settle anywhere for long, let the world be your home hearth. Give generously of your love and sympathy, and try to understand the person next to you. His element is fire. The man has completed his own cycle. He started from 0, Godfather, behind the unit, became a passive creator with 2, was reborn with 3, limited his options to 4, progressed to the state of freedom from limitations in 5, took his spiritual initiation from an active being, became an observer in 7, returned to the material statement as a means but not an end in the 8th, and completed the work of universal service in the 9th. For a year, we see the numbers 2, 0, 2, and 3, and the sum of the numbers is 7. The numbers 2 and 7 are repeated again. In this case, the influence of these numbers is repeated. Softness, receptivity, and love, observation, intuition, and science at the same time. Again, an overflow of opposites. The observer is completely passive and thus does not influence the process, he only documents it. It can be considered the child. In this case, it is a product of observation. The child as an unbiased observer. The observer must be clear about expectations, notions, and predictions. Such an automatic observer is the child. One of the conditions for revealing the laws of nature is to have no prior expectations. The person with preconceived expectations will seek confirmation of his own theories. Be clean like a child. Live in the moment, like a little child. The base number is 2 plus 7 plus 0 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 23. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 5 as a prime number. 5, turquoise. The number 5 symbolizes the new, change, movement, close connection with nature, and travel. In a word, 5 is a symbol of change in all areas of life. Manifestation of a lively and flexible mind. Bucking the routine. Seeking the untrodden paths. People dream of freedom, but few dare to afford it. Knowledge is gained from practical experience, not from theory. Highly developed curiosity. 5. Freedom. Expect frequent changes, variety, travel, and adventure. Learn to use your freedom properly. Learn foreign languages and get to know different classes and strata. Cultivate a sense of the new and progressive. Train your ingenuity and develop your personality in all aspects. Chase the new and the untried. The date 27.07/2023. Passive observation of the world. Discovery of divine laws repeating the cycles until freedom is reached. Freedom from the limitations of man. 5 as reaching the limit of possibility and the freedom to go beyond human possibility. It seems reckless to the common man. When you have passively observed and reached the divine laws, you know the limits. These limits are much greater than those of an unprepared person. The adventurer is a trained observer. He must go beyond the borders to discover new territories. Danger to others is a measured risk to the prepared. Discover your limits. Be a passive observer until you are ready. Success comes to those who are prepared. There are many possibilities. Which of them are you prepared for? To others, it looks like an adventure. To you, it is an opportunity you have been preparing for. Act. Good luck. This was from me, Husa Mori. I wish you life and health.